Comic Book Syndicate assemble.
Hi guys, here we are. We are at Villains Bistro again, our favorite place to hang out nowadays. And we are here to talk about something that we've never really covered on the show before.
No, we haven't. And it's near and dear to my heart, for sure. And today on the Comic Book Syndicate, we're going to talk
About cosplay. Hi, here we are with some cosplay pals of ours. You guys can tell us who you are, starting with Ms. Marvel here.
I'm Rebecca Tremblay.
And Scarlet Witch.
I'm Alicia Ellis, or Spinning Thread on Facebook.
Oh, nice. Okay, so here's the thing is, to be honest, I had never even heard the word cosplay until maybe 2 or 3 years ago. So I'm just curious how you guys got into it. Like, what was the first thing that kind of gave you idea to do this?
Well, I started in high school, actually, and everyone was dressing up for Halloween, and there was a costume contest, and I was like, I think I want to win this. So I dressed up as my favorite anime character, who was Misty from Pokemon, and it just kind of spiraled down from there.
Spiraled up?
Spiraled
Maybe,
up.
yeah. And how
better.
How'd you do in that contest? Did you win?
I did not win because I wasn't popular, but you know.
That's the way it always works. That's why no one watches our show. Okay, so Alicia, what about you? How did you get into it?
I started in grade 9 of high school. I read a manga called DramaCon that was about anime conventions, and until then, I never really knew that they existed.
Sure.
So I went with some friends that I made in high school in 2007, and I've gone to Anime North in Toronto, and that was my first convention, first cosplay, and I've gone to that convention every year since. And I've cosplayed.
As far as your characters, what made you choose these particular characters?
Well, last year I was my favorite DC character. I was Catwoman. And this year I wanted to be my absolute favorite Marvel character because ever since, I guess, the early January, I've been Marvel all the way. When in high school I was only DC. So I was like, I'm going to be my favorite Marvel character. I'm going to be Miss Marvel. She's courageous. She's amazing. She's gone through so much, and I can really relate to that. So I just wanted to show off the fact that I love her so much.
I know that Becca's a big comics reader.
Yeah.
Alicia, you don't really read comics, right?
I'm not as big of a fan as Becca is for comics. I'm more anime leaning, but I do love cosplaying with a group. Cosplaying with friends is so much more fun than just cosplaying by yourself.
Sure.
So I was like, okay, well, Becca wants to do Marvel. I'm going to do some research and see what kind of characters I like. And I kept on going through a bunch of characters, and I just kept going back to Scarlet Witch because she's such a strong female character. She's really powerful, which is so different from a lot of DC female characters because we don't like DC as much as we used to because a lot of their female characters have been going downhill, whereas Marvel is still keeping their female strong.
It seems like I would say they've made all these characters safe for teenage boys.
Exactly.
They've made Amanda Waller thin and young. They've made Starfire this like pinup model, like
They took away
an
her
artificial.
emotions. They took away her
They
emotions.
took away their character pretty much. They're just female figures now. They're not even.
And that's not to say they all are. That's
Not
not to
a
say
lot of them are, though.
that some of the writing isn't still amazing, some of the art isn't still amazing, but at the same time, when Catwoman's cover needs to be completely redrawn because she's not possible to be bending that way, it's a little teenage boy. And comics have been a boys' club, and we don't like that.
I've been doing this comic book show for about 7 years. As Becca knows, right? You're a big fan of the show, right?
I watched it in high school when I was very small, and I didn't even wear makeup yet. And I thought, these are grown men, and they love comic books. Maybe I could not be such a loser and read comic books by myself, and I could actually show people that I like comics and I like superheroes, and it won't be lame. So.
See, and we weren't losers in high school, so we can't relate to that. But anyway,
I wasn't a loser in high school.
I'm just kidding. Okay, so here's the thing. I've been going to comic conventions for 20 years, but I've never had the desire to cosplay, partly because I'm lazy. So where do you guys get, what's your motivation? Like, what makes you want to do it? Put it that way.
We just love the characters so much, and it's kind of like LARPing, like live action role play.
Okay.
So you get to be something you're not for a day. And especially when I was dressed up as Catwoman, I got to be Selena Kyle for a day. And she's so far from my personality that it was just so much fun. And the same with Carol. She's so strong, and I get to just pretend to be this amazing half-Kree girl who just doesn't take anything from anyone.
Sure.
It's just the most fun to pretend to be something. It's just playing pretend, but for grown-ups.
Okay. So kind of like acting, I guess you could say, right?
Yeah.
What about you, Alicia?
Well, it's pretty much the same thing. I loved acting in high school, and I just like being able to be someone else for a day because, sometimes real life isn't always that fun. You're not always happy with how things are going for you or how you are as a person. but then you can go and dress up as this really cool person that has completely different problems than you. You know, they have to deal with supervillains where you're just like, I got to deal with these life issues. So it's a lot cooler to be someone who is a different personality than you. You can kind of take a step out of your own shoes and into this character, which is kind of really refreshing.